The story behind this song is that from ancient China. The story begins with a beautiful Chinese girl, Lianhua, or Lotus Blossom, who at 16 summers was kidnapped by another clan. It was by the Chinese ambassador's son, Qin Wen, who was much older and first lay eyes on her while she traveled with her family to his lands in the east to trade. It had started upon her return home. Qin ordered a faction of the great emperor's army to escort Lianhua and her family back to their lands in the west. They traveled east every summer for Lian's father, Cho, a musician and an instrument maker, to sell the flutes and runes he crafted. And as honored as Lian's family was for the kind gesture, little did they know Qin's real motive. By sunrise, Lian had vanished and was nowhere in sight. For under the cover of the night, a few of Qin's men had gagged and tied her, then rode away eastward. For days, the family searched for Lianhua with the help of Qin's men, who only pretended to help as they knew all too well of her disappearance. The family prayed and cried for days, hoping they could get their daughter back, not knowing that the very cause of her disappearance was walking alongside them. Not fully knowing what happened to Lianhua, they feared she was dead. And with that, many years passed. But their heavy hearts never healed. During all of those years, Lianhua had grown more beautiful than when she initially arrived to the house of Qin. And due to that, Qin tried for many years to win the love of Lianhua. But knowing of her abduction, she rejected him and thought only of her family and the lands to the west she so desperately missed. Qin grew frustrated with Lianhua and imprisoned her as punishment for not accepting his love. Qin so desperately loved Lianhua, but her affection he could not have. As such, he became embittered and drank heavily. And with Lianhua being held captive, he visited her one night, drunk and furious. "I bring you to this land in the hopes of making a better life for you and making you my wife. And yet you are ungrateful." Qin roared furiously, while reaching for his knife, almost to strike her. Lianhua, chained to the ground below and left vulnerable, slowly looked up at Qin. Her beautiful face radiated with the light of the full moon shining through the windows. Lianhua cried, "Know now that I came here captured by your will. My home, my family, is beyond the mountains to the west, not here with you. Yet you imprison me like a caged bird, that I may someday love you." Qin raised his head higher, still holding his knife, as Lianhua went on. "It is you, Qin, who is a prisoner among yourself. For as long as I am held here, I will never love you. Never." Tears swelled her eyes. It was these very words that Lianhua spoke that further enraged Qin. "Then if you can never love me, no one ever will." With that, Qin took his knife and cut the right side of Lianhua's beautiful face. A struggle ensued as Qin tried to have his way with Lianhua. She tried desperately to fight him off, only to feel the blade of his knife strike her side. In her struggle, Lianhua let out a gasp and slowly fell to the ground. This beautiful caged bird was finally free to its chains, able to return to its home upon the lotus blossom. That same night, Lianhua's mother, Mei, awoke from a dream she had. In her dream, she heard Lianhua call to her and felt she was near. Mei rose and went outside and looked around, calling to her daughter. "Lianhua, Lianhua, where are you?" she cried, running, searching. "I am here, my beautiful daughter, I am here." The old woman cried, gasping onto her final pieces of hope. Now exhausted, she looked up to the heavens and prayed to the spirits for her daughter one last time. To her amazement, Mei noticed a shooting star flying westward, leaving a glimmering trail that slowly dissipated in the midnight sky above her. In all China, this is known as a trail of angels. And somehow, Lianhua's mother knew that her daughter had indeed returned to her that night, but as a spirit. Revealing this dream to Cho the next day, Cho picked up a flute and wrote a song to the memory of Lianhua, a lotus that forever blossomed.